Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are joining us. I'm Aly Vance and I'm in the UK for this special interview previewing one of the American runners heading over to Royal Ascot in a few weeks' time. I'm delighted to be joined by Graham Motion, obviously leading American trainer, sent a few over to Royal Ascot in the years, and this year you've got Spendarella coming over for the Coronation Stakes. Good afternoon, Graham. You're in Maryland, aren't you?
I am, yes. I just got back from the barn at Fair Hill.
And excited about a couple of weeks' time?
I am. I mean, excited, but you're always a little apprehensive. She's got to have one more bit of work this weekend before she leaves on Tuesday, and then she'll have a little bit of work in Newmarket on Monday before the race.
What are the logistics then? What are we now? 10 days out from the race? So it's 2 weeks out for the race because it's a Friday at Royal Ascot, isn't it?
Yeah, so originally I actually was going to ship it. We have to go via Kentucky for the USDA to have a look at her before she leaves, and she flies out of Indianapolis on Tuesday. So originally I was going to ship her to Kentucky yesterday and then breeze her on the grass at Keeneland, but it's so hot over here right now. I just didn't want to put her on a van yesterday. So I went to plan B. I'm going to breeze her here this weekend, and when we'll put her on a van to Keeneland on Sunday, and she'll ride over to the airport on Monday evening.
And she's obviously fit and well. What's the process logistics when you get over to the UK? Where does she stay? How much work do you put into her in the week before the race?
Yeah, so normally when we went over with sharing before, we stayed at the National Stud in Newmarket. So we're going to do the same thing this year. We thought that worked out really well. It's kind of the quieter side of Newmarket, as you probably know, and it's just a little bit easier to manage. So normally I would not be looking to do too much with her, but because we're going to be 10 days out, she's going to have to do a bit of work before she runs. So my idea is to do something on the Monday morning, which gives her plenty of time to get settled in.
So it's sort of 5 days before the race. And what's Spendarella like with the traveling? Is that any concern for you?
Not really. I mean, she's pretty classy, pretty sensible. I mean, obviously we've never taken on anything like this, but she has traveled a lot. She's been to Florida, she's been to Kentucky. So she's pretty feisty right now, which I think is a good thing. So we just got to keep her calm and get her over there in one piece.
And for you personally, it's exciting to have a runner at the Royal Meeting?
Yeah, it is. I mean, look, I've told anyone that's listened that this is one of my goals, to try and win a race in Europe. It's something I haven't done. And obviously being brought up over there, it's even more important to me. So I'm excited that Anthony feels the same way. He wants to take a chance, Anthony Beck from Gainesway. And, you know, we're really not missing anything by taking a shot with Spendarella. And she hasn't done much wrong. You know, she's 3 for 3 and her wins have been pretty easy, pretty comfortable. Let's put it that way. Obviously, this is going to be a whole different level of Group 1 horses at Ascot.
Yeah, before we talk about the race a bit more in detail, let's recap on your history at Royal Ascot. Sharing in 2020 finished second in the Coronation Stakes. Before that, Miss Temple City, she ran 3 times over there, and then before that, Animal Kingdom wasn't such a successful trip to Royal Ascot. So there's been a few, and what is it about Spendarella, or how do you come about the decision to think, well, this is a horse that would suit the Royal Meeting or a trip to Europe?
You know, I think she obviously shows a ton of ability. I mean, I really don't think we've tested the waters with her yet. Everything she's done, like I said, she's done pretty easily. I think the mile really suits her. And I like this race because it does have a turn in it. Having run in it several times now, I feel very comfortable with it. And I like the fact that she'll be competing against 3-year-olds and really not missing a Group 1 over here by coming to Ascot. So, and look, at the end of the day, I think it's all about the challenge. I think this is what racing is all about, and we're excited about it.
And what would you say that you've perhaps learned from your trips to Ascot before and taking horses there?
Yeah, plenty. Look, I think I've tried to take a leaf out of Wesley's book. He's done so well over there. So obviously we talk quite a bit, and I've, you know, kind of we've traveled with him on some of the other trips. But, you know, I thought the Animal Kingdom situation was very different. He spent a lot of time in England, and at the end of the day, I'm not sure I chose the right race for him. So that was a real learning curve with him. And I think the fillies have really performed very well. So, you know, each time we learn a little something. Alice Clapham's going to travel with her, and she's traveled with all my horses ever since Animal Kingdom came over. So that's a big help to me as well.
It seems strange that you're getting advice from Wesley when you're the one with the knowledge about British racing, brought up in Newmarket? You must have been to Royal Ascot when you were growing up, and I mean, and then obviously since then in your early years training. It's why would Wesley have anything over you?
Well, he's just done so well at it. And to be honest, I didn't spend much time in racing in England when I was growing up. I left when I was 16. So the vast majority of my experiences have been over here. So we can all learn from Wesley, I think.
And what were Wesley's top tips, or what did he sort of recommend to you with the type of horse to go over there?
Well, more than anything, it's just been following how he does it, and as far as travel, I think we've done it both ways. We've arrived fairly far out from the races, and we've also arrived right on top of the races. But this year, it just so happens that we don't have a lot of options. The flights are on Monday or Tuesday, and obviously, if we waited till the week of the race, it would be cutting it a little close.
And so, what, 10 days in the UK? I mean, how does that, in an ideal world, is that what you'd want, or is that concerning at all?
I would prefer to do my last piece of work over here, but honestly, when we go to Dubai, this is how we do it. We do it 10 days out and have a little work when we get to Dubai. So I'm, in comparison, and that's kind of something I have to compare it to. This is how we would do it, and that's worked well for me in the past.
And now let's talk about the filly. As you say, she's won 3 races this season and won them well. But this is going to be very tricky. It's a tough race. You've got the Irish 1,000 Guineas runner, Homeless Songs for Dermot Weld. You've got Inspiral, who was the English 1,000 Guineas favourite before coming out injured. You've got Cachet, who won the 1,000 Guineas. So all of the top 3-year-old fillies are in it. What do you make of her chances?
Yeah, look, I think it's a very strong group. I would prefer it wasn't, but it's an exciting group of fillies that have all been tested and proven. But I think my filly's capable of stepping up, and I really don't feel like she's been pressed to this point, and she keeps improving, in my opinion.
Sharing, you took to Royal Ascot off the back of winning the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. Pizza Bianca is hopefully going to be running also in the same race in the Coronation Stakes, having come from winning that same race last season, the back end of last season. I guess she's the horse or the filly that you perhaps can judge a bit more against yours, or what do you make of her? And I'm just looking at the betting, actually. Spendarella's 12-1 with the British bookmakers. Pizza Bianca's 16-1. So they feel that your horse has got a better chance.
Yeah, it's often difficult to judge the 2-year-old form, but she's a Breeders' Cup winner, so she's a very good filly. I actually ran against her last time at Pimlico with another filly. Vergara finished 3rd to her, and I thought she was very impressive that day. So I'm a little surprised that there's that much of a difference in the odds, but again, my filly hasn't done anything wrong yet. And
when you said, when we first chatted, you said having a Group 1 winner in Europe was your main aim. Is that specifically Royal Ascot or any of the top races in Europe?
No, look, I've been fortunate enough to win a Kentucky Derby, and I've won a Dubai World Cup. So to win a race in Europe, wherever it was, would be very gratifying.
So does that mean that Spendarella perhaps will stay over in Europe for the rest of the season and run in some more Group 1s?
No, I think it's unlikely. I think there are too many opportunities in this country for 3-year-old fillies not to come back and point to something like the Del Mar Oaks, perhaps, which is in August.
So the fact that you're bringing her over specifically for the Royal Meeting obviously means that the meeting is held in high regard to you. How important is it in terms of the worldwide races, do you think, for American trainers or for trainers around the world?
Well, I don't think there's anything more prestigious for a horse's credentials than winning a Grade 1 at Ascot. I mean, that's about as high as it gets. So, and I also think coming to Ascot, I'm a little more comfortable with it now. I've done it a few times. I'm very familiar with the straightaway, and the drainage is very good. So even if we get rain, I know the course will be in good shape in the straightaway, and that's comforting because you never know. I mean, you can arrive to firm ground on Tuesday and Wednesday, as you know, and it can be a bog on Friday. So that's something we have to consider. But she's handled softish grass, she's handled firm ground, and I just feel very comfortable running at Ascot, somewhere where I've been, now quite a few times.
And what about everything, the occasion? I'm wearing my hat just to get in the mood slightly. Everything that comes with Royal Ascot, how do you describe it to people?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult to describe because it's so unique. I mean, I was fortunate enough when I brought Miss Temple City over on one of her trips to meet the Queen and sat and watched a race with the Queen, which is, those are life-changing experiences, if you like. So I've been very fortunate to come several times now. I've trained horses for Bjorn, who owns Stradivarius, and we'll spend a day with him in the box at Ascot. So, it's great experiences.
That's incredible, though. I mean, we're in the midst of our Platinum Jubilee celebrations, so the Queen is obviously high in the agenda for most people this weekend. Well, how did it come about meeting the Queen? Did you get much sort of warning, or did someone come on, sort of tap on you on the back and say, "Her Majesty would like to see you," or what was it like?
Pretty much that's exactly how it was. We got a tap on the back, and I went with my wife and my son, and we just sat in the royal box with her and watched a race, which was, I kind of had to pinch myself, really, especially, being brought up in England. Obviously, it meant a great deal to me.
And so no warning, no time to sort of get nervous or think, what am I going to say to her? Or it's etiquette, I guess, that you don't go and say anything to her and you answer when she speaks to you? And how does it work?
A little bit, but I mean, it was quite easy to be quite familiar with her, but you also had to remind yourself you were speaking with the Queen when you were sitting there. So it was very interesting. And she couldn't have been more gracious and friendly. And it was, a special experience, something I'll never forget for sure.
What does she ask you? I mean, she's a huge racing fan. She must have known about your successes with Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, definitely. We talked about that. We talked about the Kentucky Derby. She discussed with me one of her trips to the Kentucky Derby and her frustration at security that she couldn't go out on the balcony and watch the race, which I thought was very amusing. She's just a very normal human being with a tremendous responsibility, and so good for racing, and so lucky that she's such a big part of it.
Well, incredible opportunity, and as you say, a once in a lifetime moment for you. Perhaps you'll be doing it in a few weeks' time before you will be receiving the trophy. You'll get to meet the Queen again if she's there on the Friday. Fingers crossed that you are, and you've got plenty of success. And good luck, Graham, in the next week or so. And I will see you at Ascot in a few weeks' time. But good luck in the meantime.
Look forward to it, Aly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Graham Motion there. You've been watching America's Best Racing. We're looking forward to meeting up then with Graham on the Friday at Royal Ascot in a couple of weeks' time.